Welcome to the Dreamlands. We are heading back to the deserts of Kharak for some Artifact Cup 27. This is going to be the start of my coverage from that tournament's highlights. And we are going to kick it off with a bang. We're going to have two very, very good players showing off or showing down on a pretty damn cool map that I like quite a bit. So it is going to be Majiir Paktu versus 10th Wave starting in the round of 8. The map is Galcian territories. Let's jump in. Just get my bearings here. This is going to be north. Alright, so spawning on the north side of Galcian territories, it is going to be 10th Wave, a player that pretty sure most people watching this channel have seen many, many times before. Very, very solid player. He's been around in the scene for quite some time, and he plays Coalition as his main in his distinctive blue and white color scheme. So it should be pretty interesting to see what he's going to bring to the table for this game. And his opponent spawning on the south side, who I did notice in the loading screen was rolling random. So that's pretty interesting, and he happened to roll Galcian. It is going to be Majiir Paktu, another veteran player who has been around since the very early days. Very solid player, has got some terrifying Knef play, and likewise also some very strong Galcian play. Majiir Paktu is also a caster. If you haven't had the chance to check out his channel, I highly recommend doing so. He's got some very good casts of competitive Deserts of Kharak matches, so that should be pretty cool. And it looks like we've already got some shenanigans coming out. Majiir Paktu has researched Sandskimmer fabrication. He is moving his production cruiser out onto the map along with his base runner and pumping out some Sandskimmers, long hauling CUs from his first wreck bulkhead after saturating his main. And what's going on? Oh, look at this. 10th Wave as well. Fully saturated his main, not long hauling whatsoever, and has got a couple of LAVs onto the field, just fanning out to get a little bit of scouting information. We have upgrades. We don't have upgrades for either player yet. So 10th Wave is going to spot the play. He's going to get that LAV to get a count on Majiir's Sandskimmers. I'm pretty sure he would have counted that there's 5 there. Majiir is going for the artifact closest to his extraction zone, and he's actually sending his production cruiser out this side of the map. Not something you see very often anymore. This is kind of standard Galcian play from the very, very early days of Deserts of Kharak, but this is not something you see very often anymore. Basically, since the first patch nerfed the build time for Sandskimmers, they take longer to build, so it's harder to pull this type of build off. Oh, look at this, spamming on the back of those scouting LAVs. It looks like 10th Wave has teched up to AAVs. That's pretty nice. That's going to push all of these Sandskimmers off, and he's spammed out enough salvagers to saturate his first wreck bulkhead, which looks like he started mining and then was forced to flee. And Majiir is going to be pushed back by these 2 AAVs, which are now on the field. Very nice move. But on the back of that harassment, Majiir was able to secure a single artifact, putting him up to 1-0. Also has a single salvager long hauling RUs. So we can anticipate a bit of a higher tech pretty damn soon from this guy. And yeah, there it is. He's getting a second production cruiser as well as a heavy railgun is in production. Bleeding out a couple of skimmers. And a very, very nice position here on this production cruiser. I just want to point this out really quickly. Taking up position behind these dunes, and then that's going to give him time to build a couple of heavy railguns and keep them out of line of fire of these AAVs, which now have an armor upgrade. So that's pretty nice. 3 AAVs and 2 skimmers pushing forward directly towards Majiir Paktu. So that's pretty threatening, actually. And Majiir is not going back to defend. He's actually going to go on the aggressive. He's got his 5 Sandskimmers and a couple of heavy railguns, going to start putting some pressure directly onto 10th Wave's front door. At the same time, 10th Wave is pushing on Majiir Paktu. So this is pretty interesting. Are they just going to go for a trade of sorts? 10th Wave does have his base runner out, and he's grabbing the artifact closest to his. Doesn't want to get too far behind in terms of artifacts, but we have got 10th Wave's AAVs right on top of Majiir Paktu's first wreck bulkhead. They are going to mow down a bunch of salvagers here, force this production cruiser into retreat. So very nice play. Both players want to stick with the aggression here. I got to check back from side to side periodically. We do have a support cruiser on the field from 10th Wave, but Majiir Paktu's sand skimmers, he's got 5 of them, as well as now 3 heavy railguns and an assault railgun. Very nice mixed composition, and he is just right in among 10th Wave, trying to slowly take down these salvagers. 10th Wave fending that off with nothing but a carrier and a couple of LAVs. A little bit of a misclick there, sending out his support cruiser to die. Oof. That's gonna hurt. And now he is just gonna start bleeding out salvagers. Well, at the same time, on the other side of the map, all of Majiir's salvagers get cleaned up as well. What an insane game. But now with some assault railguns up for Majiir back at his home base, he is going to clean this up. So he did lose all of his salvagers, but he was able to shut down 10th Wave's aggression completely. 10th has no more units on the field, and he has Majiir Paktu camping right outside his starting location. I honestly don't see any way for him to come back from this. An air switch is not going to work because he's got this forward production cruiser to use that pretty strong anti-air on this unit to shut down any kind of strike fighter play coming out from the carrier. And with all of these sand skimmers behind carrier picking off salvagers, and now these heavy railguns just popping shots into the carrier's hull, it looks like Majiir is probably going to take game 1 with a hyper-aggressive build, and one that you really don't see anymore, which is cool. I'm glad that he did this. Very nice play from Majiir. What is 10th Wave trying to do? He's just building more salvagers. He's lost all the salvagers at his first wreck bulkhead, and he's slowly bleeding out salvagers back home. His carrier is actually about to go down, so it looks like game 1 is going to go to Majiir, which is pretty cool. Very aggressive play by both players. Majiir just was able to sneak out railguns just in time, and that is what saved his ass. So well played to both players. Congratulations to Majiir for taking the first game in this series. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you for game 2 coming up next.